Hey everyone, welcome to Lorecraft, where we deconstruct stories, explore creative perspectives, and dive into the magic of storytelling across books, movies, and games. I'm your co host, Ava Doe, a gothic romantasy author for the new adult audience.
And I'm your co-host Donnie, storyteller, designer, and creator of all things sci-fi fantasy powered by coffee. If you love storytelling, world building, or want to peek behind the curtain of how creators think, then this podcast is for you. We're here to introduce you to the world that is Lorecraft and some of the behind the scenes of why we made it and what it is. So, Ava, if you want to take it from here.
Yeah. So I think like one of the first questions that any audience member might have is, what the hell is Lorecraft, right? And not only that, but why did we make it? So Lorecraft Creative, it's actually a really specific naming convention that we went with. So lore, which is where we wanted to showcase some of the work that we're doing, some of the original IP that we're crafting right now, followed by craft, which is we're not the only creatives in the world, right? There's other people who have done tried and true things, who are also breaking the mold and trying new things. And so we wanted a space to talk about like the way that craft is as a methodology and as like a philosophical exercise. And then creative, which is where we join up with other creatives in different fields, different industries to talk about their methodologies and understand them a little bit more. And hopefully that enriches both sides of the stuff. So my goal in particular is showcasing some of my original IP and work, mostly in novel writing. I am a gothic romantasy writer, and so I'm working on my first book ever, and I want to kind of reach an audience that is interested in this work, but also bridge that with what Donnie is doing, because I found that I was having a lot of great conversation with him and like able to find the commonalities between our work and the stuff that makes it interesting to read, watch, or consume in general. What about you, Donnie?
Yeah, 100%. I'm a sci-fi fantasy Afrofuturism manga author and science fiction writer as well. Ava is gothic romantasy, and so we share a common thread of being strong storytellers, strong creatives with a strong sense of like design sensibilities as we go about this creative journey together. And we want to bring as many people into the fold as possible. So that's some of why we created this podcast, is to just build a community around some of those concepts that we felt important and things that helps us. So whether you're looking for tips on how to write better from different perspectives, whether you're looking to just listen in on a good conversation talking about whatever it's subject matter or story, all of that is sort of baked into this abstract concept that is Lorecraft Creative. So my background, I work as a user experience designer for an IT company, but alongside that I have my own manga project called Apeiro's World, so you'll be hearing a lot about that as it comes to our lore episodes, where we mostly focus in on the specific lore of our world. Even her storytelling, me with Apeiro's, and outside of that, some of the other things that interest us, whether it's creative styles, our obsessions, insert Matrix series somewhere along here, and all those good fun things. We just want to be nerds and nerd out and everything. So yeah, I like to crack a good joke as much as anyone, and yeah, just have a really good conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're gonna have a lot of genuine conversation, but also some fuckery. Like you just mentioned the Matrix. I know that Twilight's gonna come up as one of the triggers for me. We just have our own like dialogue going on, and we want to invite you in. My background, I come from the gaming industry, and I have always wanted to be in the writing space, but I didn't really know how to get into it. I thought that journalism was my path, and then I ended up taking something completely different in college, and then ended up where I am. And so I'm a new budding fiction novelist at the moment, and so I think that a lot of my content is going to be around like learning alongside Donnie and like sharing some tried and true tips, and then some new things that neither of us have heard about before. And my main project specifically is Violent Delights, Violent Ends. It's a gothic romantasy novel geared towards the new adult audience. I think that it's really going to be inspired by some like darker tropes, some things I've really enjoyed in games and books that I really admire. There's going to be a heist element, so on and so forth. So there's just a lot of stuff to like learn about and go through together.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're fans or you're new to the show, you're going to very quickly realize there's a lot of subliminal metaphors to like meta references. We're big fans of the Oceans series, so check out that episode.
Yeah, plug Billions too.
Yeah, Billions as well. So you'll hear some reoccurring things. Twilight is somewhat of like a banned topic
Yes.
on this podcast, which we will canvas in the future. About our shared love-hatred of codependency films of the early 2010s, so to speak. Things, that blend when it comes to media and things like that, we're going to discuss, wide gamut of topics, whether it's design related, whether it's specific to writing, whether it's specific to, video games, maybe even music, just things that we love and things we think are cool and things that we think that people are, attracted to and whatnot.
I think like another thing that is going to come up, and we're already touching it based on like how this episode is going, but I think that what to expect from this podcast, we're going to be conversational, we're going to be doing deep dives, we're going to have occasional guests and stuff like that. And the way that we structured it, just like our name, the Lorecraft Creative side of it, we're going to have lore, which is a breakdown of our original IP and works. That could be like character deep dives, it could be talking about the plot and things like that, workshopping ideas around it. The craft side of it, we're going to be doing breakdowns of like maybe famous storytelling in movies, books, games, so on and so forth. And then, the philosophical and psychological elements, design related material, as Donnie was saying. And then finally, creative, which is where we might have people and other creators come on and kind of talk about their stories and how they're made.
Yep. And one of my favorite things to discuss in general with people as a creative is people's different working methodologies, their tool sets, their creative process. So, if you're like me and you're a tinkerer and you like to see, well, how do they make that, or how do they do that, or what's your process, or how do you do that? I think you can learn something from everyone. And so one of the best reasons for watching our show is we're going to touch, as we discuss between our respective projects and other media, but also with other guests that we have on. You're going to learn a lot about how people just make the things they make from in-world experience, people who are just as accessible and approachable as you, who are finding their way in this in real life simulation called life, and whatnot. So if you're a writer, you're a creative, you're going to find a home here in Lorecraft on our podcast. So yep, we're learning in public and inviting you along for this mythical journey.
And if you want to find us on any social media or follow along, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. If you just want to search for Lorecraft Creative or Lorecraft, you'll most likely find us, and we will go ahead and put those links on screen too.
Yeah, make sure to look for the ghost. We put a lot of effort into the branding, which we haven't covered in an upcoming episode about the branding and what that means. So stay tuned for when that's out, if you haven't checked it out already. But you'll find us on all the platforms: Google, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Insta, Twitter. And then too, we're also on Substack, so check that out if you'd like to consume information in a different medium. But we're all over the place. And also share the show, share the space all over the place. Smash like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think so far in this debut episode of Lorecraft Creative.